Yeah, it'll be less than a minute. So let's all do a collective namaskar and raise our kundalini. The fan down. So we put our right hand on the Mother Earth and we'll say Shri Ganesh mantra once, followed by the Atarvashesha. Om Sacham Shri Ganesha Sacham Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Namaste Namo Namaha Om Namaste Ganapataye Vameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Vameva Kevalam Tattvamasi Vameva Kevalam Tattvamasi Vameva Kevalam Tattvamasi Vameva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Sintyam Ritam Vachmi Satyam Vachmi Ava Tvamam Ava Vataram Ava Shrotaram Ava Vataram Ava Chanam Ava Shishyam Ava Paschattat Ava Purastat Avo Taratat Ava Shinatat Ava Chutvatat Ava Taratat Sarvato Maham Hari Hari Sadantat Tvam Maya Swam Chinmaya Tvam Ananda Maya Tvam Brahma Tvam Satchidananda Vidyosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tvato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatastishnati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Ayamisyanti Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Ratyeti Tvam Bhumi Rapo Naro Yado Abhava Tvam Charpari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatraya Tita Tvam Dehatraya Tita Tvam Kalatraya Tita Tvam Muladhara Stitositya Tvam Shakti Trayatmaka Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Swam Vishnu Swam Rudras Swam Indras Swam Agnis Swam Vayus Swam Suryas Swam Chandramas Swam Brahma Swam Ganadim Purva Muscharya Varnadim Tadanantaram Anuswara Parataraha Adhenurasitam Tahenantam Etarthava Manuswarupam Dakara Purvarupam Akaro Madhyama Rupam Anuswara Shantya Rupam Bindurutara Rupam Nada Sandhanam Samhita Sandhi Saisha Ganesha Vidya Ganata Rishi Nishrinkaratri Chandaha Ganapatir Devata Om Nam Ganapataye Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Dandish Prachodayat
Ekadantam Chaturhastam Pashanankushadharinam Radam Charadam Hastaye Vikranam Shakakajam Ratam Lambodaram Shubhakakakam Rattavasasam Rattagandhamurtangam Rattapushpaye Supujitam Bhaktanupamapinam Devam Jagat Karnamam Chitam Ayurvudam Chasishvaro Prakrite Purusharam Evam Jayati Nityam Sayogi Yoginam Varaha Namo Varatapataye Namo Ganapataye Namaha Brahmatapataye Namaste Astu Lamabodharaya Ekadantaya Vijnanashine Shivasudhaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Say the mantra to Shri Mahakali Sakshat, Shri Bhairava Sakshat, Shri Michael Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat, Shri Mahakali Sakshat, Shri Bhairava Sakshat, Shri Michael Sakshat, Shri Adishakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. So if we put the right hand back on our laps and raise our left hand towards the ether. Say the mantra Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat, Shri Hanuman Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat, Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat, Shri Hanuman Sakshat,
Shri Adishakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha.
We can place our left hand back on the lap. Say the mantra to Sri Mahalakshmi.
Om Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji, Shri Mahadevi, Namo Namaha.
So we're going to play 3 short talks for Sri Mataji today, with a gap in between where we can meditate for a few minutes. So we can start the first one.
Methods, how it works out. The puja has a significance. From ancient times, the saints describe seek something outside, to go outside, find out new ways and methods to grow outside. Now, this is the knowledge of your roots. Knowledge to which I should tell them about the significance of puja. Because as the Western style of life is, that they are meant to be like this, to seek something outside, to go outside, find out new ways and methods to grow outside. Now, this is the knowledge of your roots, knowledge through which you receive your nourishment. It is not known to you before. This knowledge is not known to you before and was not deliberately told, because you are supposed to grow outside. Now when you have to go inside, then you have to understand the divine laws and divine methods, how it works out. The puja has a significance. From ancient times, the saints described them, because in India, the whole climate is such that you can live under a tree, live in a forest, no problem, can eat fruits, and very happily you could be in a forest. There's no need to have a bed or anything, it's so warm and nice. You can always enjoy the bliss of a forest. And thus, many people went into the forest and started thinking, looking at the whole world from that solitude. What's the problem with human beings? Why are we here? What should we do? What's the purpose of this human life? Why God has given us this beautiful human life? They started thinking about it. And that's how they went into meditative positions, meditative entry within themselves. And when they started meditating, they found out all about Kundalini, about chakras, and the deities that reside on them. Now these deities have resided from eternal times. We can say in the abode of God. They have all resided there. And then they were reflected on this earth and they incarnated just to give us a better and better awareness. We could have avoided all this. It could have been very easy if we had listened to God at the time of Adam and Eve. At the time of Adam and Eve, it was told that you should not eat the fruit of knowledge. Now that was not the fruit of the true knowledge, but the fruit of knowledge was the knowledge about the matter, the knowledge about things. So, as you know, the story is satanic forces worked. They lured both of them and they started developing themselves on the other side. That's how we made a mistake. That's why it is called as original sin. And that original sin has brought us to this brink now, and we have to go back. We have to go back within ourselves to find our roots. And that's why to improve on their mistakes and to improve on their ignorance. That's how the first ignorance was setting. The darkness of ignorance was setting because of that mistake. And then from darkness we had to come to human stage. And when we have to come to human stage, we have to pass through all those different various stages of life where incarnations had to take place. So now, as you know very well, that we have incarnations placed within our centers which are not yet awakened. That means they are not in our attention. They are not to be felt in our central nervous system, or we cannot feel them on our fingertips, to be very, very simple. So they are there, but they are not acting according to our desire. We do not know them and they do not listen to us. They do what is right for them or what they think is proper. You have no connection with them so far. So the first thing is to connect yourself with those different stages through which we have passed. So the first, as you know, is the Ganesha stage. It is innocence. Innocence, the formless of innocence was made into Sri Ganesh. Because some nucleus has to emit that innocence. Now in the whole world, there are 8 such creations of the Mother Earth, and luckily they are in Maharashtra. You'll find Maharashtrian people on the whole are innocent compared to us. They are rather innocent by nature. And the reason is from the Mother Earth only the innocence is emitted. So the first thing is that within us, to establish innocence, we have to worship Sri Ganesh. So when you worship me as Sri Ganesh, the Sri Ganesha within you is awakened. You will see the result of that. So the people who are suffering, say, from the trouble of all these perversions, these modern diseases that have come, must establish their Sri Ganesh. If they cannot establish their Sri Ganesh, they cannot be cured. So their innocence has to be first established. If we cannot establish their innocence, we cannot cure them. First and foremost thing is to establish Sri Ganesh. And Sri Ganesh is made out of the Mother Earth element. So by praying to Sri Ganesha, we also establish it in a city, in a place like this place now is San Francisco, where I came here first. We had no puja, nothing. That's why the whole I couldn't go deep into people. I couldn't go deep into the I didn't know how I'll be able to manage, because there is no education on this. People are not educated about it. But in India, immediately the first thing is puja. They will not come to my lecture, they will not come to anything. First is puja. If there's a puja, everybody is getting up 4 o'clock, having a bath, getting ready to come to puja, because they know the importance of it. That your essence is awakened by puja. Essence is awakened. And to awaken the essence, you have to be there at a place where this is done, so that your essence is awakened. Now the trouble is, with ego-oriented societies, very difficult to tell them about puja. They find it difficult. That's why we do not allow everyone to come to puja, for one reason, because as soon as they see something happening, their ego starts up, you see. And instead of doing anything to them, the barrier is so much that I can't just do anything about it. The barrier is too much in their ego. They have their own ideas, their own conceptions, their own feelings, and it's impossible to penetrate deep into them. So it's a waste. And if you cannot receive the vibrations, I feel the pain in my own centers, because the deities, you see, get so annoyed and they don't like it, and they think that why Mother should waste their energy with these people who do not understand about puja. So I want to prepare you beforehand that you keep yourself open. Don't allow your ego to come up. It's nothing for me to gain, it is for you to gain. Keep your minds open. The trouble is, at the time of this Sahasrara opening, this praying, everybody's brain is upside down. It's impossible. You try to turn it and they jump on you. It's a big problem for me. It's the biggest problem because all other incarnations came, they didn't have to do this difficult work of making you something. Just it was to awaken within you a awareness, like Christ had to awaken your Agya Chakra. Alright, he crucified himself for the same reason, he resurrected himself for the same reason. It was a very hard life for him, and for the mother it was even worse, no doubt. But still, one should know that this is a very hazardous thing to transform people and then to establish them and create out of these little seeds a huge big tree of a saint. Now in the same way we have got Moses, we have got Abraham, all these great saints are within in our world. They are the gurus. And on a Guru Puja, when you worship me on a Guru Puja day, that time these are awakened within you and you become a master. You become yourself a guru. You yourself know so much. Even I don't have to tell you, I don't think I have talked to people very much in private or explained to things. But somehow they have become so much full of knowledge that's rather surprising how they understand. Like I was talking to Yogi Mahajan and he was telling me what's the problem is with human beings, and you see, he was telling me how we cannot relate to them and all. It was interesting because my father did the same to me. I said that he's my first guru and all of you are my second gurus. Because I don't understand human beings. See, for example, this homosexual business, when Gregor, with very great reluctance, he told me through somebody else, I really fainted, actually couldn't understand what's happened to them, now what am I to do? And I couldn't eat my food for 1 week. I felt so bad about the whole thing, like my own children were nothing. If you have a heart of an intense mother, you can understand what she feels about it. And I knew they are in for trouble. I knew everything is going to be very, very hazardous. But it doesn't matter. By God's grace, everything will be all right. I'm sure it will work out. So first we have to establish Sri Ganesha. First of all, we have to establish Sri Ganesha within ourselves and Sri Ganesha in this place called San Francisco. Alright? That's why we have to first do the Sri Ganesha's puja. Then secondly, I told him that if possible we should do little bit of Sri Vishnu's, because he is the one who gives us evolutionary power by which we can evolve ourselves and evolve others. So we'll have a little time for Sri Vishnu's puja. Also they do havanas and all that for Sri Vishnu's puja, which is very good to clear the atmosphere sort of thing. But we'll do next year all these things, perhaps maybe, because just now we don't have all those arrangements. But that would be a very good idea too. And then thirdly, they want to do the power, the puja of the Shakti, the mother, because unless and until you have power, even if all the deities are there, you'll be exhausted, you won't be able to work it out. So the third is of your own power, of your Kundalini, of the power that is going to work out this divine will. That's how we have three puja. But none of you should get into an ego trip. Please keep your ego on one side. Just now see for yourself how it works within yourself. You start feeling good, you start feeling better vibrations, and you start feeling much better and healthier within yourself. So just keep yourself open. It is you who has to achieve something, not me. I don't have to achieve anything. So you better make use of me. Because I am here only for today and then I'll go away. So make best use of me, and that's why I said as many as possible try to call the people over here. It will be a good idea. May God bless you.
You must have felt the vibrations of this place.
that there are quite a lot of people who have come for the first time. And I should
Just got one more short audio.
It is so sad today that the day of celebration has fallen onto the birthday of Sri Ganesh. Every month they celebrate the fourth day of the moon as the birth date of Sri Ganesh. And today is that date. Luckily, we are here for the puja of Sri Ganesha on his birthday. I have said a lot about Sri Ganesha and his importance in our life. He is the giver of wisdom. But this wisdom comes from our innocence. Innocence that is innate within us. As children, we are innocent. But as we grow, we start exerting ourselves in a manner that we start losing our innocence. We lose it in two ways. Once we have lost our innocence, we cannot believe that others could be innocent. Another is that we think innocence is not important. Innocence is the sustenance, is the basis of spirituality. If a person doesn't have innocence, he cannot rise in spirituality. That's why the first job of Sahaja Yoga is to establish Sri Ganesha within you, to awaken him. As soon as the Kundalini awakens, you must know that Sri Ganesha comes into you. Without his awakening within you, Kundalini cannot be raised. But it could be temporary or it could be a permanent. It could be very temporary with people who are not yet adjusted to the new method or to the ways of God's love. Those who have not understood or those who have not gone through those traditions, it is rather difficult for them to establish Sri Ganesha. At this point, I find there are people who fight with their problems and try to overcome the outward problems and establish Sri Ganesha. But there are other people who are still not there. They start doubting other sins. In Sahaja Yoga is a very common feeling. I've seen people complaining about others, saying that their innocence is not established. It's the first sign that your own innocence is in danger. Because you doubt yourself, you are doubting others. If you are doubting others, then be sure that you are not going to gain anything. Your job is to look after yourself and not others. And if you start doing like this, gradually in your Muladhara, there will be lots of these booths that will just jump in, and they'll give you more ideas and more ideas of doubting others. By doubting others, you can never correct them and never yourself. So those people who indulge into this kind of practices go away from their innocence. They try to find out what others are doing, what are their ways of using other people in Sahaja Yoga for their own purposes, or some sort of a funny spy-like attitude. Whatever. In Sahaja Yoga, you have to only spy yourself, not others. Those who start spying themselves, criticizing others, will never rise higher than what you are. In the beginning, I have seen many Sahaja Yogis who come also try to do this, to criticize. This is a sign of their immaturity, sign of their also poor awakening of their shield. So those who come for the first time should be very careful that still we have to achieve a lot and we should not start doubting others, making remarks about others. Because in innocence, people can be very, very simple, very friendly, but inside their hearts, there is no malice, there is no filth. But those who come for the first time sometimes have the filth within them, and they say the reflection of their own filth in others. I had gone to a program in Kolhapur, and you know how your mother is innocent and pure. And a gentleman came and he told me that he has an army problem. So I said, all right, you put your hand on my lap. He put his hand there, and the women there were really funny women. They said, why should mother allow another man to touch her knee? They could not understand that how could anybody touch a lady's knee. But once you are at that level, you don't really know that there is bad in it. And you just say, all right, it's all right, you can touch my knee. And the fellow got all right with his trouble, with his now. So, you see, the thing is, if your eyes are clean, you can understand what is clean and what is unclean. But if your eyes are not clean, you start seeing something that you want to see. Or sometimes you see something that never exists. So I would request all the new surgeries who are here not to criticize the old surgeries. And this is very anti-God activity. Never say a word about the old surgery. Because I have heard complaints, people came and complained to me, and I was amazed. Those who are just now there, how can they start criticizing other surgery? That means you are trying to hit the roots of surgery. And this is not the way you are going to help. So I have to request you, please look after your own vibrations. Look after your own asset. Look after what you have done for surgery. And then talk. Suddenly, if you just enter into Surg Yoga and start criticizing others about their innocence, you are hitting the Ganesha at the root of it. So be careful. Of course, you'll be hit, no doubt. And such people who have done like this, I've seen have ended up with cancer. Because Ganesha is the one, when he gets angry, the first thing you get is cancer. So be careful, I'm warning you. Don't try these tricks anymore. Try to improve your spirituality so that you can enjoy the joy of Shri Ganesha. This is one side. The second side is that to keep Shri Ganesha intact, we have to have certain Maryada. Everybody must have certain Maryada. Like that, I would say that I will ask the lady to put her hand even up to my heart point from the front. But I would not ask a man to do that because there is a Maryada. If you are a man, you are not supposed to touch my front side, but you can touch my back side. There are Maryadas for everything. And if you do not observe these Maryadas or these boundaries, then you are apt to get out of it, despite the fact that you are poor. And you might create a problem unnecessarily. I'll give a very good example of Sri Mahavir, who was the incarnation of Bhairava. Himself, Bhairava took on this one. And to Bhairava, what is cloth, what is dress? I mean, he's a person. To him, the whole universe is his clothes, or the whole directions are his clothes, in the Digambara. To him, what does it matter? He's so innocent. He's absolute innocence himself. And the innocence that is destructive, that will destroy. Through him only you get your cancer when you start misbehaving. So it's such a simple man like him, in the sense that he never knew what was impurity, he didn't know what sin was. Such a personality came on this earth to teach people to be innocent, to be dharmic, to be good. Now, this one once had to go to some forest where half of his cloth got caught up in the bushes. So he had to cut it off, and he was left with half of the cloth. And when he came out on the village outskirts, he met a person who was actually Shri Krishna, who tried to take his pariksha. Just came there, and he said that why should you have any cloth? There is no need, but I am a human being, I have no clothes on my body. So you are a God, you are incarnation, so why don't you give your cloth to me? He said, all right, kid. He gave away the part that was. And that's all for a very short time. He was without clothes, very short time. But that people have exploited and are making him nude and making all his private parts and selfish, all nonsense there. Now, many people ask me, how is it that Jains indulge into this nudity and all that? This is all absurd. It's nothing anywhere near Mahavira. Nobody is a Mahavira to become even nude, even for a short time. So why should they do it? Because everybody tries to find something that is a loophole just to cover up their own weakness. And all such weaknesses tell upon the progeny. Now that has gone so far that they cannot understand that Sri Mahavir, he was a Digambara, he was the person who did not need any clothes. Still, just to keep the Samayachar, he did wear his cloth throughout and later on also. But for a short time, he gave away his. That doesn't mean that in the public he became nude, suddenly took out his clothes and all. It doesn't mean that. He respected the public at that, not only, but he respected his parents to begin with. Before he took to real sannyasa, he respected his parents. And he said that now the time has come for me to give up this worldly life that I have been indulging into worldly affairs, and I have to take to sannyasa. Sannyasa doesn't mean that he was not a sannyasi, he was, but means that the worldly life of his parents and other people he had to give. Because if you have to indulge sometimes into this life, like in the Hindu tradition, after certain age, say 75, they say, you have to take a sannyas. In the sense that your family, your children are settled down now, there's no problem, you have to take a sannyas. But for that, the wisdom has to be gathered in young age. Otherwise, in old age, still there is no wisdom, and you are behaving like a young man of 16 years. It's better you don't take sannyas. So the whole understanding about life in India has to be very subtle. And to understand these great and great people, you have to be a little bit greater than what you are. If you are just mud, how can you see the gold? You cannot. So you have to remove this mud from your eyes. It's a very common feature in the West that either they are suspicious or they are not. There's nothing in between. Either the people who are suspicious of others, or there are people who are indulgent. So have it a little. First thing I have to request, because you are the first celebrities now who have come for the first time, that this soil of our country is full of rhythm of Sri Ganesh. You are sitting on it. You have to vow that I will establish my Ganesha. Don't worry about it. Your attention on others. I'll establish my Ganesha and let this Mother Earth give me a full strength to establish Ganesha. This is very important because unless and until your Sri Ganesha is established, you cannot be connected to the whole, nor can you have the enjoyment of your spirit. You will be a half-baked person, which you should not. So far, I've seen that the Western surgeries are extremely assiduous and they take things very seriously to get to it because they know if they have to have joy, they have to do it. So you have to be an introvert as far as you are concerned. And as far as others are concerned, you have to be just seeing the good points of it. Always see the good points, not the bad. Otherwise, you create problems for yourself, and a day will come you have to get out of surgery. It has happened with many who tried these things, and they are out, absolutely out of surgery. If you have to be in surgery, you have to understand that to be one with the whole, try to look after yourself. Another thing I have told you that in every country, I have to have somebody on whom I have to depend. Just like Sri Ganesha, I depend on him for many things. He looks after many things. In the same way, in every country, I have to have somebody there. I do not like that all the time you are complaining about a person with whom I am in connection. You need not correct that. I have told you 100 times, don't correct that person. I know, because I am in contact, I know what that person is. You don't know it. I know everything about that person. I can correct that person. But I was surprised in London also some people came and said something funny about others. I was surprised that they think I don't know. I know each and everything. You leave it to me. It is not your job to do such things, and this is very mediocre approach to sin. Extremely mediocre. And if you are going to be mediocre, I cannot help it, but a day will come, you might have to get out of sin. This is the first warning I want to give you, because now we are going into the interior of Maharashtra. You will see women and men never sit together in Maharashtra. They sit separate. They keep a distance. We must learn those things. In the West, we are very open people. It's all right to do it. There are methods and ways how we are open, how we keep distances. Like I'll be much more free with the son of Dr. Sangvi. But with him, I'll keep him. He's a style that a lady, her elders, she must keep a distance. And a man must keep a distance from younger children. This is a system by which this country has worked out its innocence, and we all should try to follow this law. That keep a distance with the lady who are younger to you, and keep a distance from the gentlemen who are older. I mean, they are even a 80-year-old woman marries an 18-year-old girl, such confused state of affairs where you cannot talk of this. But here, when we are trying to sort out our confusions, our mistakes, we should try to adhere to a certain pattern which has helped our social life is much better. And to understand why the social life is better is because of Sri Ganesha. Where Sri Ganesha is not there, you find even Sri Ganesha. Say in the north of India, there is no Sri Ganesha. So the Muslims came. If Sri Ganesha was there, they would have fought. They accepted Islamic culture. And when that culture came in from the Nawabs and all that licentious people, it all trickled down. But not to that extent. Still, I would say that there is a sense of chastity in people in India, and we all should have that sense of chastity. But the most thing is that in your heart, in your mind, don't allow funny ideas to come. First of all, watch it in your mind. It will give you ideas like this man is not good, that man is not good. Just don't listen to these things. Just listen to yourself. That where am I? What am I doing? What have I done for surgery? My vibrations are the over. Am I helping others? Where is my attention? The attention has to be what am I doing with what Mother has done? So today is a very great day. We must all pray to Sri Ganesh that he should give his blessings because he is the source of joy. He is the source of joy. He is Christ. He is in your heart, besides the spirit. So he is the one, the innocence you have to achieve. And that is the beginning of Sri Krishna, Sri Ganesha's being, which evolves at the head here, you see, on this class as Om it becomes. So the same Sri Ganesha ultimately becomes within us. So to have the purest form of enjoyment of your spirit, we must try to see that we establish our Sri. And let everyone follow a proper pattern. You don't try to correct it. That's a very wrong attitude in surgery. And it's very detrimental to the growth of surgery. Anybody who tries this is thrown out of surgery in no time by some way or some other. And also I've seen people getting cancer. And they ask me, Mother, how is it we were doing surgery and how did we get cancer? Because of this nonsense. Don't try to go against other surgeons. Must respect their own sins. And respect the older surgeons because they have been there. We have to learn a lot. They have worked very hard to establish surgery. So I have to make a very simple announcement today that on this day of Sri Ganesh, all my children who are born like Sri Ganesh in the same pattern should become dynamic life, innocent life, great life, working 24 hours. This little child is working throughout the day and night to give you the source of joy. May God bless you.
We may pray to Shmataji in our hearts. Although, please take us deeper to meditation. do actually? We do.
Thank you.